Let's see. I can show you guys what I've been working on here. And you're probably all familiar with this little beauty, Quantum. So just the other day, Jim sent me an email and he says, I'm spending a lot of time doing keyword research. So he told me what he was doing. I made him a keyword tool. Uh, Anthony said, hey, it's a pain in the ass to try and name products and businesses and all that and find it with an appropriate domain name. So I built him the Name It tool. So if there's anything that you guys need that AI can do, I've gotten really good at building these tools. So if there's anything you want built, let me know, like the procedure, what you need, and I can probably build you a tool uh, in about a half hour that'll do exactly what you're trying to do.
Well, John, one of the things I was trying to do this week is I have a customer who wants, they have all their reviews on a site and it lists their former company, and they wanted me to pull all those reviews and pull the name of the former company out. I know it's
Okay.
not supposed to, I'm not supposed to do that. Do you have a tool that would edit that out where I can put in, go through all this and remove this word and exchange it with this word?
AI can do any kind of repetitive task like that.
Okay.
So like if we put in the domain and had it hunt for all the reviews and then pull any particular name out and give you a list, I'm sure I could build you a tool to do that.
Okay.
So if that sounds like what you want, just shoot me the email of the steps that you need and I'll see what I can come up with.
Okay.
But this was a really cool tool for the local keywords. He wanted it for local. So we put in the market and then the product or service being sold, the city, the radius of miles, like if you want this in a 10-mile radius or 20-mile, and then, just a few seed keywords. And what it's meant to do, like, does anybody want to try this out and tell me what your market is?
Go for home services contractors, John.
Okay. Home services. What product? Solar?
Oh,
Plumber?
what product am I selling to them?
Well, this is for keywords. This is for keyword research. So we need a market and a product.
I
Lawn
guess it'd
care.
have to, okay, lawn care, whatever.
All right. Lawn care. I'll put my city in here. Wants a cap, I think. And we'll do a 10-mile radius. And we'll put gardener. Landscaping. All right. Gardener. All right. Now I'll just hit generate results. So what it's doing, it's going to go out and it's going to check for competition. It's going to check for cost per click. It's going to check a bunch of different stuff here. So let me make this bigger. So it's got the keyword, like up here, it's got the way this is spelled out. Keyword, monthly search volume, cost per click, difficulty to rank, and then the total score. So for total score in the actual prompt that I wrote for the back end of this, I said in search volume, rank them from 1 to 10 based on the highest search volume being a number 10. The lowest search volume being a number 1. That's how you score for search volume. On cost per click, I said the highest dollar amount gets the highest score of 1 to 10. The lowest cost per click gets the lowest score. In difficulty to rank, the most difficult to rank gets a 1, the easiest gets a 10. So based on that scoring, it's coming up with numbers, and then that's your total score. And I said, output the list in the total score being highest to lowest. So basically, this is your winner keyword right here, based on it's got the most search volume, the highest cost per click, and the easiest to rank. So for somebody that does SEO, that would have taken them a very long time to figure this out. Lawn care, Huntington Beach landscape, lawn service. And then I also told it to try and find, if you can, brand names, try and find brand keywords, try and find localized keywords. And it found, I mean, Huntington Beach is obviously a pretty popular place. This is the only one I see that doesn't have Huntington Beach in it, but it has near me. So, and it's got a lot of searches, but it didn't rank the top because its total score only added up to a 9. So it might be more competitive, or it might not have the higher cost per click. So that's what remember the Goldilocks? Goldilocks was like how I made the scoring system for for how good a title was going to be. So here I created a Goldilocks formula for this. So this, as far as local keyword research, this is your Goldilocks formula right here.
Hey, John, on the search volume, as you know, most of the tools, you could use lawn care, for example. Is this an accurate local search volume? You follow what I'm trying to say? A lot of times you'll put in car dealership, even if you put a local term in, but it's still giving you the nationwide search volume. Is this a little bit more accurate? It's giving you the local search volume in this area?
This is something I don't really know, because when the AI does its thing, you don't really know what it's doing.
Yeah.
So it is quite possible that that is a national number.
It's a national number. I'm gonna say, because I've searched high and low for realistic local numbers, and none of them do it. Nobody does it. They can't.
But what I did, I told it to scour the internet for this data, and if it has multiple sources, to average them.
Okay.
So it might be getting this data from 10 different data points.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
So it's not 100%, but this will, right off the cuff, this will give you a pretty good idea of what you should be targeting without doing 4 or 5 hours of research.
Hey, John.
Yes.
So because someone asked you to do this, is this proprietary for them, or is this something we can all, if it's legitimate and no objection, we can all ask for and have?
Oh, you all already have this.
I'm using it right now as you're doing this for nothing.
Yeah,
I just logged in. I just logged in and I don't see it on my.
So for anybody that doesn't have all these tools yet, go over here to the App Store on the right side, click the plus button, and then anything that you don't have, it'll say get. And all you have to do is just click the get button and it will load it up. The other thing that I did for you guys is, as I've been making the tools, they're not necessarily in any kind of a logical order. They're just as I come up with them, I'm adding them to the end. So inside the App Store, I've sorted them by the way it makes sense to me.
Where do you see the App Store?
Over on the right side, there's a plus button that says App Store.
Oh.
When you roll over it, it'll say App Store.
That's sneaky. You didn't show. I didn't know that.
So John, are you saying, because I was going to ask you that, as this gets bigger and bigger, it's sort of like a kid walking in a candy store. I don't know where to turn or stop. So you're saying the App Store would be a lot. I brought in a client. I'm starting from scratch. This would be a logical progression to go through these tools to build a campaign or bring a client on board, yada, yada, that type of stuff. Is that so? In the App Store would be a logical progression to just take these steps.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And I'll share like my my reasoning or my madness or whatever you want to call it. I put all the graphical stuff, I kind of combined it all together up at the top. So you've got your imager, this creates images, this creates like really spectacular attention grabbing images. This one does like the home page, like they call it a hero image, the top banners. Somebody asked for logos, so I created one called the Logo Beast. And then somebody wanted to do ebooks, so I made an ebook cover maker. And then another one for cover art because Craig wanted to do albums, just square albums. So I made that one for that. And then you've got an image editor here. For those of you that don't have Canva or you don't have Photoshop, this is it's not an advanced. This is by no means a Photoshop quality image editor, but it'll do image editing for, 90% of probably anything you'll need. And then you've got the video genesis. This will create a video from any URL. You literally just drop the URL in. It goes and it scans the website, figures out what it is. It writes a script for like a sales script. And then it creates the script, the narrative, the voiceover, the images, and combines it all into a motion video. It's really cool. Most people don't have a sales video. That tool solves that problem with a couple of clicks. This is an ad animator. I'm not all that excited about it, but you might be I don't create animated ads, but if you do, that might help you. And then over here, you got the file vault. This is where all the images are compiled. And somebody asked me the other day, they said, hey, I made a bunch of videos and I don't know how to delete them. So if you go into the file vault, this is where it will show you like your AI videos are in this folder. So if you open that up over here on the right, that's where you have your tool menu where you could delete that. So you could delete it, you could make a copy, you could share it, whatever you want to do, download it. So that's in the file vault. So the file vault basically stores and allows you mass editing capability of all the stuff you've created. And then here is where ACT starts. Anybody that's going through the ACT program, market segmentation is like the first piece of the puzzle. And it's super simple. This tool, you just put in whatever market you're in. Like if you put in, let's say we'll do the landscape market. It's going to give you the top 10 segments of landscaping based on profitability. So you'll know, hey, you should start here if you want to create a profitable marketing campaign. And, these tools take anywhere from a few seconds to, if you're creating a video, it might be 5 to 7 minutes. But here, high-end residential landscape ranks number 1. This is where you should start if you're going to sell landscape services. There's commercial. There's public and institutional, sustainable, urban rooftop gardens, landscape design and architects. And it goes down to the last one, which you want to steer clear of, is hobbyists. You're not going to make your money here in the hobbyists, or the do-it-yourself gardeners. You can sell them do-it-yourself stuff, but these guys up here are going to pay you thousands of dollars a month. They're going to pay you more than the service is probably worth. So we could take that, we can copy that, high-end landscapes. Then we can go back to the next tool and it says, who's your target market? Paste it in. High-end residential landscapes. That's our target market. That's the most profitable. And then what's your product? And we could say, we'll pick on Tony today. We'll say lawn trucks. And then we'll generate a buyer. So this is going to tell us who the buyer is for these lawn trucks for high-end real estate landscapes. Now, these two tools here would save you a tremendous amount of time, because we talk about, like in the ACT program, we talk about getting into the head of your buyer. Like, what's keeping them up at night? What are they thinking about? What are they hearing? All this stuff. And it's like, people are, well, how the hell would I figure that out? You know, you could talk to the people. Sometimes your own customers. So here it just spit out who your buyer is. His name's Mike Caldwell. He's 48 years old. Okay, upscale suburban neighborhood. Core problem. It spends considerable time and energy.
Hey, John, sorry to interrupt. I've got to cut out. How long before you put these videos up in the
These videos,
drink?
that's a good question, because when I started this video, I didn't start the recording because we were in Kartra. And so far, this has not been recorded.
In that case, I'm sort of okay. No, I'll catch up. I'm sorry. I apologize.
So that was my shortfalling on that one. But
I'll see
anyway, it's
I'll
got,
see you in a couple of hours.
yeah, absolutely.
Thanks.
So our mistake here, like
So John, this is the mistake is that homeowner's not going to be buying trucks.
yeah,
Okay.
I just realized that.
Yeah, we got to put in there that he wants to have his a backyard oasis, or we got to tell them that they got to have a backyard outdoor kitchen or a pool, or, you know what I mean? We got to ask for something more landscape. We got some cross terminology there a moment ago.
So how about if we put the market segment as commercial landscapers?
That might get us better. Yeah, for the product lawn trucks. Yeah, that would be definitely better.
Yeah, because as I was looking at that, I'm like, oh God, this ain't right.
Yeah, that didn't make sense. But that's my question. How the hell do you make all these damn tools, man? This is
Well,
insane what you've done.
It's the prompting. I've been talking about and trying to teach people prompting for the last 2 years. And I even wrote that book about it, about how I do the prompting and all that. And what I realized is nobody thinks like I do. So me trying to teach people how to think in a certain way, it didn't work. So I figured, okay, here I can create these tools and I can write the prompts in a way that you don't have to. You can just put some basic things in, and basically you're not having to write a prompt. It's promptless. I've written the prompt in a wrapper, so you just put your little thing in there and I take it from there and do the rest for you. So
And a moment ago in an example you used and found those keywords for Huntington Beach lawn care, I didn't understand the correlation between number one and the highest pay-per-click. If I was buying ads, it seems like I would want to buy, pay less instead of paying more. But
yes,
you got something.
So,
you got a different theory here.
That keyword research tool was based around SEO, not pay-per-click. So I was looking at the cost per click as the higher someone is paying for a click, the more commercially viable that keyword is.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then I was cross-referencing that with the number of people searching and the difficulty to rank, coming up with a factor of who was going to win the game.
That's smart, man. Now I get it. Okay. Thank you.
So it was combining all those things. And again, it's the way I think. So it's hard to teach people the way I think. I can explain it all day long, but getting somebody to replicate it, it's easier for me to just build a tool for you so I can continue to do the thinking for you, and it doesn't take all of my day to do it. I can walk away and I've replicated myself. So
Thank you.
Absolutely. So, all right. So here, Mike owns a mid-sized landscaping business that has been around for over 10 years. He prides himself on delivering high-quality landscape services to commercial properties. He's working hard, detail-oriented, passionate about making outdoor spaces look pristine. His core problem, inconsistent and unreliable lawn trucks causing delays and increased downtime. Here's the frustrations. Here's the emotions. Frustration, anxiety, helplessness, anger, desperation. Here's the fears being caused by those emotions. Here's how those fears are affecting relationships in his life. Tension with clients due to missed deadlines, strained relationships with employees over, reliability issues, arguments with family over finance stress, disconnect from industry peers out of embarrassment, trust issues with suppliers and partners. So this is getting into like what's going on in his head when he's trying to fall asleep at night. Here's hurtful things that the relationships might say. Why are the trucks always breaking down? We can't keep clients waiting, Mike. Your unreliable equipment is making us look bad. This is the stuff he's hearing. Here's other solutions that he's probably tried. Hiring additional mechanics for on-site repairs, leasing trucks, purchasing cheaper used trucks, regularly renting trucks, investing in short-term high maintenance plans. So here's sound bites around how those solutions have failed. And again, this is what he's thinking. This is the stuff that's going through his head. Here's one. The used trucks were just money pits. So if you want to write effective copy and you know what he's thinking, how much more effective are you going to be at communicating with this person now that you know what's going on between his ears? Here's what they don't want to do to fix their problem. They don't want to continuously invest in unreliable secondhand equipment. That is a key point to bring up when you're pitching the benefits of your service. Drastically cut costs in other areas. They don't want to do that. They don't want to sacrifice quality. They don't want to upset the team with constant disruptions. They don't want to depend solely on external repair services. So that's what they don't want to do. So knowing that gives you a serious leg up when you're communicating with them, trying to sell them on your service or your products. So here's sound bites about what they don't want to do. This is stuff that they're thinking. And here's the transformation. If a genie could snap their fingers and give them the perfect solution, what would the prospects' lives look like? And then here again, how would this transformation affect those key relationships? This is all the stuff that they want. This is the desired outcome right here. Here's sound bites about what they would hear. Employees saying our clients are happier than ever. The team feels confident, ready every day. I'm not fighting fires at home anymore. Our reputation speaks for itself now. Our suppliers see us as reliable partners. That's what he wants. That's music to his ears. So in this, it goes on and on and on. And here's the biggest objections that they might have for their problem: the cost of new trucks, potential hidden maintenance costs, reliability of new equipment. So this is stuff that you have to address as far as objections. These are the things that are going to keep them from making the purchase. And that is the Build a Buyer tool. So you went from the market segmenter telling you what the most profitable segment of your market was to now you're building a buyer. Then you go to real competition. And let me do something here. I'm going to start our recording now. So I should have done this a while ago.
Recording in progress.
All right. So we're recording. The first part of this call was not recorded because there was some sensitive information, some awesome information that was shared. And that was a bonus benefit for those that showed up on time and got to participate. So now we're in the Quantum Suite, and I'm showing how new tools are being added to the Quantum Suite all the time. And you get them over here in the App Store. You just click on the Get buttons, and then it'll load them to your dashboard. If there's tools you don't want like a whole bunch of stuff to distract you, you can click on this little plus button here, and now they're all editable. You can delete them, which just moves them off of your screen into the App Store. You can always bring them back, so don't worry, you're not going to lose anything. But if there's stuff you don't use, just go ahead and click delete so it moves it off your screen. And then the other thing, when it's in this mood and they're all shaking, you can pick one up and you can move it. You can move it to rearrange the order to your liking. And then you just click one of the plus buttons up here and it locks it in. So we're talking about the top row. I've got these ordered in, to me, a logical sequence. I've got all the graphics stuff up here. Anything from photos to logos to book covers, image editing, videos, all that stuff's up there. Then we get into the ACT tools for the ACT marketing protocol. We've got the market segmenter, which tells you your most profitable segment of your market. Then the build a buyer tool. Then we go into real competition. And I haven't hit this one yet. So you can go in here, and I think I've done some of these. Like here's one that I did. It was on back pain was the market, and the product was chiropractic services. Now, most chiropractors believe that their competition is other chiropractors, and it's not. That might be a little tiny fraction of it. But to really understand what's going on, you need to know who your market is competing for, or who all in the market is competing for your customer. So here, alternative solutions, physical therapy. And it gives you the top 3 physical therapists that you're competing with as a chiropractor. Massage therapy. And here's the top 3 you're competing with. Acupuncture. Again, the top 3. Pain meds. Yoga. Osteopathy. Hot and cold therapy. I didn't even know that was a thing, but apparently it is. And there's the 3 competitors. Ergonomic solutions. TENS. This is like where you shock therapy. And herbal remedies. So it's important for you to know like who all you're competing and what your prospect is hearing when, when they're making their decision. And that takes you to hears and fears. This is what they're actually hearing. Again, you put the market and the product in here, and we can put in the market being back pain, chiropractic, or we can say spinal adjustments. Let's generate the results. So this is what they're hearing about other things in the marketplace. So spinal adjustments are painful and uncomfortable. What do you think that is? That's an objection. Here's a fear based around it. They're afraid of experiencing significant pain during or after the procedure. So when you're marketing, you got to address that. You have to eliminate that. You have to say that's an old wives' tale, whatever it is. I mean, obviously don't lie about it, but figure out how to address that. Here again, fear, objection. This is all the stuff they're hearing about spinal adjustments. Too expensive, not covered by insurance. So this is the stuff you're going to have to overcome to play the game. And then emotional buying triggers. This is, again, market and product. That's all you have to put in here, and it will give you the full list of the buying triggers. This is what is going to make them want to purchase your product. And then lead magnets. This is how you might build your mailing list. And again, all you're putting is the market niche and the product. And it'll do the magic for you. Big idea. This is your attention grabber. Irresistible offer is putting your offer together on the end of this. Now, these, again, just product and biggest benefit. That's going to get you your big idea. Your irresistible offer. Now here you're going to have to put a little more into this one to get this to work for you. So you're going to have your segment. You're going to have the main problem being addressed. You have to put the desired outcome, the product, the promise of the product, the proof points, list your benefits, your retail price, your offer price, the reasoning for the discount. You guys have probably heard me talk about these things a million times when I'm talking about building an offer. You've got to have a reason if you're going to have a discount. Payment options, if you have a guarantee, the time before the expiration, if it's limited to X units, to create that scarcity and that sense of urgency. And if you don't have these, just leave them blank or whatever, and then just hit generate. It'll create an offer for you. It's actually quite incredible what this thing will do. Yeah, and then you've got hook lines, benefit stacker, three-dimensionalizing benefits, the Franklin objection eliminator. This thing will eliminate any objection. You just give it the objection and it will kill it for you. FAQ wizard. This will create an FAQ for you that basically will address all of the objections that weren't addressed in your marketing. A bonus builder. This will give you a bonus stack. This will write your emails. This will give you a chat bot on your website.
Hey, John.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi. Just wondering, are these cumulative kind of, like if we use build a buyer and then write an email based on that? Is that how this works?
Unfortunately, they're not tied together. So it's
Okay.
not cumulatively moving your stuff forward from tool to tool.
Mm-hmm.
But what you can do, like when you do the market segment, now you've got it. So you can move that information over to the build a buyer. Then you can move
Okay.
that information over to real competition. So you can keep moving. What you're doing is you're collecting the information. So you're gathering your intelligence and moving that forward into the next tool.
So am I just copying it and pasting it then?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay,
That's all you have to do.
great.
And if I did it the other way where it was cumulative, it wouldn't be near as flexible as what this is.
Okay.
Like there's a lot of people that are using this not just for themselves, but they're using this for like client work. So they've got clients, all over the board, just like I do.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've
Okay.
got knowledge brain. Basically, these two are kind of tied at the hip. Knowledge brain is where you give the bot the knowledge of what it's going to use to answer the questions. So it's kind of like the Build a Becky. Build a Becky software is way more advanced than this. This is a basic intro version of that. If you just want a basic chat bot, if you want one that's like a beautiful woman or beautiful man to answer your questions and be kind of a spokesperson, that's the Build a Becky software. But this one will get you by just to begin. This one here, this is a naming tool for creating brand names, product names. This one here will do if you have an e-commerce store, a lot of people have, 1,000 products in their e-commerce store. So they skimp when it comes to content on creating their product descriptions. So this thing will bust out really robust product descriptions that are SEO friendly and just save you a tremendous amount of work in your commerce store. This one, again, we talked about this a little earlier. This one will create localized keywords for SEO, and it uses a scoring pattern that I actually built for this tool. So it's pretty cool. It works very well. Then you've got the SEO Genie. This will come up with titles and descriptions and tags and all that stuff for your site. If you want an ad jingle, a song for your website or song for your business, a rap song, those are just kind of fun additions. That was just more me playing to see, oh, you know, what kind of cool stuff could I build? And then this one, I created the zip locator for all the people using Acquisition Air that were localizing their targeting. So this, you can give this any city or zip code and the radius, and it'll give you all the zip codes in that radius to plug in. You could use that for other ad tools as well. So anyway, I kind of wanted to go through again and just show you guys like all the stuff that is in this Quantum Suite and how to get to them. Clicking on the App Store over here, that will take you into all the tools, the descriptions. If I've added a new tool and you don't have access to it yet, it'll say Get here. And you just click the Get button and it'll add it to your dashboard. And like I said, if you want to eliminate tools off of your dashboard to clean it up, just get rid of stuff you don't use, you can delete it from the dashboard. It'll put it over here with the Get button on it. So if you want to get it back, you can always bring it back. Go ahead, Delilah.
I had to take myself off mute. Wow, this is exciting. I have a question. So, obviously I'm currently working on my campaign for my crypto courses, but before I ever even got into crypto, I had a NLP coaching and hypnotherapy practice. I had taken some time off of it, and recently a desperate mother came to me and wanted me to work with her daughter, and I just had such a fulfilling experience. And I'm trying to stay focused, John. I just had such a fulfilling experience. I thought, I really miss doing that, really miss doing that type of coaching. Would it be, does it sound reasonable? And is it a good idea, like, for me to maybe use this to also build out a campaign for my practice? Because, I think I love doing this and it would be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the thing that this gives you at your fingertips is the ability to do the amount of work that would have taken you months in an hour.
And I have another question. So one of the challenges for me when I used to think about marketing in terms of hypnotherapy and NLP coaching,
Mhm.
the people that come to me have come with a variety of different goals or objections or things that they wanted to overcome, like obstacles. Um, how do I actually, like, let's say I want to go into the market segmenter and I want to,
Uh-huh.
would I just put in NLP coaching / hypnotherapy, or would I put in coaching or mindset coaching? Like, I'm not sure how I would articulate that with the AI bot.
Well, you want to get as close as you possibly can to start. Like let's say you started with hypnotherapy.
Mm-hmm.
And hypnotherapy might give, well, it'll give you 10 different subsets. And if one of those subsets, if you feel like, oh, okay, that's kind of generically where I want to go, but it's not exactly. So then just put that in and try it again.
Okay.
Then get the 10 subsets of that. Once you've kind of narrowed it down and you've got the market segment,
Mm-hmm.
then you can move forward and you can say, okay, here's what I want to supply to this segment. That's your product or your service. And then you can build a buyer around it. And you can just kind of keep moving that forward through those tools until you've got everything you need for a campaign. Got your lead
Gotcha.
magnet. I mean, you can do this so fast now. It's crazy. It used to take people weeks, if not months or years to do this stuff. And 9 times out of 10, they wouldn't get it right. So this is a total game changer
That's great.
to be able to do like multiple things at once without having to kill yourself to create the marketing for it.
It's fantastic. I love it. So I'm excited. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, yeah. This is like just changed my whole outlook on everything. Like, and I'm still of the opinion that you should do something to completion first before you like start up a whole bunch of things. But this will allow you to get there so much quicker. I'm not as hard and fast on that rule anymore. It's like now it's like, okay, yeah, if you got 2 or 3 things, just do these all and you can knock them out so much faster now. It's amazing.
John, isn't there a caveat though that it is AI after all, and you do want to make sure that if you have to
Yes.
write the emails, you got to go in there and change, I hope this email finds you well kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, don't just let this thing run on autopilot and represent you for sure. Like Richard's 100% right on that. It's like Kartra when, when I opened up to do the initial call today, I showed like the Kartra initial screen that's AI generated and it had all kinds of spelling errors on it. And I'm like, come on, guys, really? You didn't look at this first before you published it? And, AI it's an employee, and you can't just cut employees loose and give them free will to represent you. You want to keep an eye on them. This is no different. The thing here that is really cool is you have the ability to badger the shit out of your new employee and it's not going to sue you and it's not going to cry and it's not going to, stomp and rant and rave and stomp its feet and leave the building. It's going to apologize like it should and do a better job. So, and that might sound cold-hearted, but think about it. We're not hurting anyone's feelings anymore. We're dealing with a machine that doesn't have those restraints, those issues. And we're able to get a much better product much faster because of it. So it's like, I've said this probably in the last 10 calls. It's such an incredible time to be alive right now of all the things that we have available. Like, think about it. Even a year ago, no one had the advantage that you have right now, even a year ago. And with quantum, they still don't. You guys are so far ahead of most people because most people, you probably find yourself included in this bucket. You struggle with prompting, right? Prompting was my strength right out of the gate. I came right out of the gate knowing how to prompt just because that's how my mind works. It works very mechanically. So it's like, okay, I want you to do this and this and this. That's probably why I did so well with my outsourcers. I created mechanical paths for them to work. And they were able to do what I wanted done because it wasn't ambiguous. I told them exactly how I wanted things done and in what order, what sequence, all of that. And that's what I'm doing with the machine. I'm telling it exactly what I want in the sequence and the order, and it's doing it, pretty much flawlessly. Like Richard said, you got to keep an eye on it. It does go awry. But it really does give you an incredible advantage. And also, having that advantage and knowing where you are, how far ahead you are, this is a good time to like help other people around you by introducing it to them and signing up for the affiliate program and making a little extra money on the side by referring it. You're not going to hurt yourself by doing that.
So John, what's the affiliate program?
The affiliate program is just like everything else in there. It's 50% up front and 25% ongoing forever. So, and right now you have the ability to bring people in either at the full retail at 97 a month, or you can bring them in at the 47 a month under the beta pricing. So if you want to give your people, the best deal, the best offer, tell them you can get them in on beta pricing. You don't know how long it's going to last, but if they want to lock it in at 47 a month, now's the time. So the other thing that I can do is I could have different versions of quantum. Like I could have quantum light, I could have quantum pro, and I could have quantum elite. And elite might get everything I ever build and just automatically plugged in there. You guys get that anyway because you're grandfathered in. But moving forward, I could, maybe I could offer a quantum light for, less money, has less tools, less access. I haven't decided if I want to do that or not. I tend to not think or tend to think I want to keep things less complicated and just over deliver like I've always done. So I think I will probably just keep everything at the beta pricing long term and just give everybody everything. That's what I'm more inclined to do. So
Hey,
I'm always open to feedback.
hey, John.
What if we want to do the 97, or what if we wanted to do 149 or something like that?
I could put whatever prices you want on it. If you have a group, you want to sell it for 149, I just have to create another price level in Kartra. I could do that easy. So basically it's like it always has been. You guys just tell me what you want and I'll make it happen. Randy, did you have a question?
Well, I just want to say something real quick about the way you think. I'm still amazed at this because, you don't know, but but anyhow, my signature book is coming out this fall, and it's a 4-year project of this book, and it's transformed itself a few different times. Not the basic principles and stuff in it, but just some of the other details. But anyhow, it changed titles several times before you came around. And then I put the cover and I used AI to describe what I was looking for. And AI came up with this great description, and I sent it off to the designer, and she created a remarkable depiction of the book cover. And you came up with the actual title because it was a totally different title. And as soon as you saw the cover, you just spit out this title. And I'm still, kind of flabbergasted over it. And the title is Breakthrough, The Science of Getting Unstuck. And it shows a small plant busting through the concrete and coming up. And you saw that and you just gave that title like instantaneously. And I'm still just like blown away by that. Everyone that sees the cover just goes, OMG. So
yeah, I remember that.
So it's not, I've got pre-sales and it hasn't even come out because of it. So title and cover make a huge difference. Obviously everybody knows that, but the way you think, I just wanted to plug that in there. If you have something like that, John he's one of those, I don't know what it is. He has a gift. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I remember when I saw that image, I knew the title was that, right? Like instantly.
I'm just blown away by it still. But anyhow, I love the book cover. I love the title. It's going to work.
Cool. Well, that's awesome. That is really cool. But
yeah, and you'll get the same thing from the naming tool. It was like the thing I liked about the naming tool is it'll give you 5 names, and you've made it so it actually even shows if the domain's available and all that stuff. I must admit, I went through, I think I got the 30 title things, and I didn't use any of them, but they sparked the idea for the perfect title. So, I mean, that's really, really great. You have somebody that you can brainstorm with that actually knows, well, it does. It knows more than you do because it knows everything that's on the internet.
Yeah. It really gives you a serious advantage. It's like, and this is why people buy into masterminds. It's the concept of a mastermind is putting together a group of collective minds that are all top notch. Now, rarely does that actually happen in the real world. A lot of people buy into masterminds and it's just a bunch of people that are on the same plane needing help. It's not really a mastermind. But with AI, you truly have access to the best minds on the planet, but you have to know how to prompt to actually sort through the garbage. Because I've said this before, AI has all the information in the world, right? And as you know, 95% of all the information in the world is crap. It consists of people's opinions and misnomers and garbage and beliefs that aren't true, and people that are just giving opinions based on nothing, right?
Or something they've heard.
Yeah, it's kind of like taking political advice from Facebook. you, you just don't do it, right? You do your research, you figure things out. But here, if you've got 95% of that as garbage and you're throwing your question into the middle of that, your odds of getting top-notch feedback back it's so remote, it's crazy. And that's where you get, I hope this email finds you well. That is mediocre garbage because you didn't prompt it correctly, right? To prompt that correctly, if you're looking for an email, the first thing to do to sift out the garbage is you have to tell the machine who it is or who you want it to be. You have to say, you are David Ogilvy, or you are a top marketing executive. You're the head of the pyramid. You do marketing campaigns that do multi-million dollars every time. That way, when it looks for its information, it's going to look at the top of the pyramid to gather its information. It's not going to go down to the base and get everybody's opinions. It's going to limit its output to what you've told it to do. So, and in my prompting, that's what I'm doing. All my prompts really start off with telling the thing who it is and what we need help with today. So you're cutting out 95% of the garbage. So the output that it's going to give you is going to be, head and shoulders above somebody that's not doing that. What they're going to get is, I hope this email finds you well. And I can't tell you how many times a day I see that. It's all just the blind leading the blind, garbage in, garbage out. So for you guys to know the difference, you're head and shoulders above the rest just with that. And then, getting access to quantum where you've actually really got my mind behind the scenes, wrapping your prompts for you, making it promptless. It gives you a pretty good advantage over most people. I'm not saying there's not people out there that know how to prompt. You guys might be some of them. You might even be better than I am at it. But most people aren't. So that's what the tool's for. If you want to work hard at it and prompting, you don't need quantum. You can just go use the AI. But if you want your life to be simpler and, you can leverage my brain power to do your prompting for you, that's what it's for. So I always thought, God, if I could just do this for everybody, everybody would be happy. But then I thought, that ain't going to happen. I don't want to work that hard. But now I can actually allow myself to do the stuff for you. It's all repetitive. Like when I create big ideas, I follow the same sequence. I do the same repetitive process. And now I don't have to do it. I made the prompt, I made the script, and it can do it over and over and over. And it's not lazy like me, and it doesn't sleep like I tend to do. And the AI doesn't like to go fishing. It doesn't like to go play on boats. It just wants to work. So It's a very, very different from me. We do get along, but we're very different. All right. So
Also, John, if you usually should need to add into your prompts though that there's no hallucination allowed, you need to be able to cite the sources on every answer you give me if I ask for them.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, those are all, that's all stuff that you need to take into consideration if you're writing your prompts, for sure.
Well, Richard, everything I've ever created, I was hallucinating. That's how I come up with the idea. Sorry, you guys knew I was going to be one to say that.
Well, if Woody wasn't here, yep, you were first up, Tim.
It's true. I mean, you know, how many times, and this is just me. I know what your powers are, but I know what my powers are. I could sit in a Starbucks and stare at the sky and come up with 3 ways to fix something. That's, you know what I mean? You know, your strong points, you know, and you use those. You're using your strong points now to help me in the gaps that I have to make that happen by using the quantum. To me, it was like, what do we pay? As ACT members, we pay $20 a month. That's a bargain.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if it doesn't save you $20 a month, then
I made my first full year of paying for it and selling 2 videos.
Yeah, it is ridiculous what it will do for you. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, Tim, you're not hallucinating. You're doing what the AI can't do, which is the AI does linear thinking, and then you take its linear thinking and you do what only humans can do. It's called lateral thinking. It's going sideways. It's bringing a component from disparate things and bringing them together and adding them to what it is you're doing. And the AI can't do that. There's the power of AI though, is giving you all the Legos you need to build what it is you want to build.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
At least that's how I've been using it.
yeah.
Yeah, very
Well,
true.
we saw a perfect example of that when we did the commercial landscaper and then the lawn truck. You know, or commercial landscaping and the lawn truck. We got the AI didn't know how to put those two thoughts together. So when it generated the buyer, I was looking at him like, oh God, this is horrible. This is garbage in, garbage out. And Tony agreed, and then we changed it. We changed the market and matched the market to the actual product. And then we got a good buyer profile. And I saw somebody, I think it was Gina did this when I was talking about AI at Craig's event sometime back. I was saying, you know, you could say, have it write based on your favorite writer. And she mixed like 3 people in there and threw Craig Duswalt in there. And she got like some bizarre output. And I said, yeah, it's because it doesn't know what that animal looks like. It's never seen that animal. When you combine those 3 people, it doesn't know what to expect. So you can get some bizarre results.
Yeah, we all knew Craig Duswalt was an animal. I'm just curious, you know, Roger, what he's designing out of it, his with this, is doing it. I know Roger, you've been pretty silent on this, but I would love to hear some of the prompts he's coming up to create customers.
Yeah.
Is this helping you at all, Roger?
You'd love to on the after hours Zoom call.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be interesting to see what Roger's asking for in there.
Sorry, Roger, didn't mean to put you on the spot, buddy.
No, totally cool, Tim.
Oh, cool. So, all right. Well, anything else before we wrap it up for today? I know some of you are on the call coming up in a couple hours, so we'll see you then. But anything else marketing related?
Good call. Thanks for the preview of Kartra before we started there. I appreciate that. So
yeah. Just prepare for a week or so of a little bit of frustration, hopefully followed by ecstasy.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
I have an event tonight, so I'm only going to be able to attend like 10 minutes of your session tonight because it's at
Okay.
5 o'clock for me. So can I email you the questions I would like for you to answer, and then I'll watch the recording?
Yeah, if I get the questions, I can do them right up front for you. So if you want to expound upon them, we can do that.
Cool, thank you.
Or if you want, if you don't want to do that, I can just bring you out right in the beginning and we can just go for it.
Okay, so like I'll be on like very, very briefly, and then I gotta go.
Okay. Well, if I can answer it there in that time, I'm happy to do that for you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because I have many questions. There's so much noise out there.
Yeah, there is. And I mean, I can probably almost answer that for you now. Just stop listening. All garbage.
John, John, I have one more question before we go. Are you familiar with in WordPress is it Mayfair theme?
I'm not familiar with that one. My guys, when my guys build sites, they always use the either the Beaver Builder theme or the Beaver Builder child theme.
Yeah.
And they've been able to create just about any look from one of those two themes. I know there's a ton of themes out there, but my guys are really building the sites custom, and they can build it within any frame.
Yeah, I took on a customer who's got it. They have it built out on Mayfair, and I'd never heard of it, and I can't access it or find any way to get with it. And if I switch it to the Beaver Builder child train to create my own theme, everything on their site disappears.
Yeah, that's kind of some of the problems with themes. Some of the theme builders don't like to play nice with others.
Yeah, so I mean, you disconnect the theme and boom, all the content's gone.
Yeah, I don't particularly.
So I'm having to recreate the content in another temp page.
Yeah,
Bring back under the Beaver Builder child theme.
yeah. Well, luckily, like when I have that stuff, I just have my guys, when I take on a new client, we just rebuild it. Because I basically just tell my clients, I go, look, if I can't help you, you should be going elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to work on stuff that I'm not familiar with, I can't really help you. So you should be with somebody that specializes in that so you can get the help that you need. And that's,
Well, yeah, this gentleman came to me because he just basically he thinks that the world's solved because he gave me the access to his website.
Yeah.
And now everything is, well, it's website. That's Tim's problem.
Yeah. See, I won't take on clients like that.
He probably couldn't even tell you the colors on his website.
I use the lifeguard analogy. That's like the lifeguard, if he swims out to you and you're going to fight him, he's going to let you drown because he's not going to drown with you.
That's right.
That's me. I'm like, if you're ready to give up and let me help you, I'm here for you. But if not, then I'm going to let you drown. You're not sucking me down with you.
Yeah. I do got to say, I mean, of all the people that I have, that's the best and easiest to work with was Gina St. George when we took over her stuff. Oh my God. This is what I like. This is where I got it from. This is where I don't like. And I took it all and learned how to create listening to people.
Yeah. Yeah. That people that know how to communicate are a joy to work with.
Yeah.
They really are. People that know what they want, know what they don't want, and are able to communicate that clearly. They are a treat to work with.
Yes, they are.
So you got to find more Ginas.
Aw, you're so nice. But I'm a process person, so I have a process for communicating too.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a lot of people don't have that.
That's going to be cross training, Gina, between our people some days. I'm going to teach them how to be creative, and you're going to teach my people how to do the process.
Yes. Yes. I actually already have that offer built because, I built it first for lawyers, and then I made a version for non-lawyers. And actually, if you go to my website, you can see it already.
Yeah, you could
Because
clone that.
Because I've built out all those offer pages in Kartra.
Yeah, you could clone that whole campaign and make it for web developers. You could make it for anybody, really.
Huh.
Well, I can go clone any
Huh.
one of her campaigns because I have because she has a sub account underneath me.
So, yeah, well, that's going to be the next thing I do is I'm going to take what I'm doing and I'm going to segment it. So I have to brainstorm what my segments would be. And I hadn't even thought about web developers, but yeah.
Yeah, any niche. You could take anybody that is process light and fix them.
Yeah.
Or-
Well,
or-
I mean, I already did it for lawyers, and I always thought of lawyers like as this other category of human. And then like entrepreneurs are like all together, but really lawyers are just a different form of business owner.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And when I said process light, I was being nice. They're process non-existent mostly.
Well, one of the most common reasons that a person goes to law school is that they say, this is a good paying career and I don't have to do math to get my education. That is actually a very common thing that I hear about why someone became a lawyer.
You say that, Gina, I just took on a lawyer who their website was down for 9 months before they finally decided to hire somebody to get a website up.
OMG.
And within a week, she goes, how come when I got a website with you, how come when I Google search my name, I don't have, my website doesn't come up? I'm like, because your website's been down for 9 months.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to take a while for you to type in your name in Google and find your website.
OMG.
Yeah. Anyway, good call, John. I'll see you guys next week.
All right. Sounds.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Have a great
Thanks,
week.
John.
We will see you next week.
Recording stopped.